being a white woman myself, I'm probably pretty high up on the tier for what society respects. That's why they call it white privilege. And when less than 1% of predatory behavior is ever told to the police, where they're booked, tried, and convicted is less than 1% of all SA behavior. This is the society we live in. The society that protects predators. I mean, we elected one just a few months ago. A man that would fly airplanes over a huge meeting with survivors of Epstein. He sent airplanes over so people couldn't hear what the women had to say. That's the kind of piece of garbage we elected as president. We've talked before how women in church are in such vulnerable, subjected positions. We've talked about how the way a woman dresses does not make a man stop. It doesn't make a man think twice. It doesn't make a man do anything but what he wants to do. And there are countries out there that make women cover 99% of their body on pain of death because they believe that wearing a shawl over your head is going to keep a man from grabbing you. It doesn't. If that were true, places like India, with the highest sexual assault against women of heterosexual origin, would be safe. Places where women wore clothing that covers 99% of their body, they would be safe. If the belief that if women covered up, men would behave. It doesn't. Hundreds of years ago, people on average wore more clothing. That didn't stop predators. You think back when people wore corsets and togas where they covered up most of their body, that it protected them against predators? No. Because 99% of predators are people you live with. Fathers, brothers, husbands, cousins. About 8 out of 10 assaults against women are by people they know. Do you think wearing a different kind of dress is going to stop a rapist? I don't think so. The only thing that stops a rapist is a gun, a knife, or handcuffs. That's the only thing that stops. Even if a rapist admits on camera that he likes to touch women and exactly where on live television before he's elected president, if admitting to it on live camera doesn't get a man put in prison, what do you think a dress is going to do? You think wearing a different color flip-flops or wearing a cape is going to make you less likely to be harmed? No. What you wear doesn't decide if a man harms you. It's his entitlement and his idea that you are less than human. Because preying on people is a sign of power, humiliation, and superiority. That's why men commit these felonies. Men don't attack women because because they're wearing a dress instead of a skirt or instead of pants. Men attack women because they want to appear to be a man, even though that's the furthest thing of what they're demonstrating. Men harm women and protect predators because they want to feel like a man. The toxic stereotype of an alpha man, anyways. And church does it pretty well, especially in high control fundamentalist white man's religion. It does it pretty well, teaching and indoctrinating women that if you just wore a different type of clothing, you wouldn't have been hurt. I mean, once someone tears something off of you, it doesn't really matter if it was Dior or Old Navy. It really doesn't. And it's so stupid. I mean, imagine